is Ammaarah and I've been lifting for more than 7 years now. I started off as a cardio bunny, mostly in the elliptical area. I then progressed to the weight section and started training more with aesthetics in mind. And for the last couple of years, maybe 3 years, I've been training as a power lifter. And now I feel like I'm more into the hybrid style of training, implementing cardio as well as trying to maintain my physique and get strong. And during these 7 years, I've learned a lot and I'm very excited to share them with you. Gym anxiety for a lot of people is a very real fear. And for somebody that's really trying to level up in life, can feel like a very demotivating thing. I feel like the most intuitive step is to try and fix your health, to try and fix your fitness. So when there's that friction, it can feel very demotivating. So with these first couple of tips, I just wanted to give some practical and actionable advice that you can implement today to get over that anxiety. I do want to preface by saying that there is a mental side to this, but that is for another video. But I feel like it's worth mentioning that the way you think about yourself and the way you approach stuff in here is so important. So number one, anybody who is an experienced or seasoned gym goer will tell you that there are times in the gym where it is busiest and there's times where it's least busiest. So in terms of days of the week, Mondays the gym is at its busiest. Then when you're heading towards the end of the week, it starts slowing down. You don't see it as packed. So towards, I'd say, like Thursday, Friday, it's at its least busiest. On Sunday is the perfect day for someone who's trying to just avoid the crowd. So yes, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday-ish is the busiest times. Thursday, Friday, Sunday, you're good to go. In terms of time, so you must remember that a lot of people work a 9-to-5 job, and so they're going to be trying to get in their sessions before work or after work. So most gyms, or at least in South Africa, open at 5 a.m. because I mean, like, there's mostly just virgin actors over here. And so you get a line of people that's waiting to go into the gym at 5 a.m. It's not a long line, but it's a line. So around 5 a.m. it's mid capacity. Then when 5:30, 5:45, 6 a.m. rolls around, then it starts picking up because all of these people want to get their session in before work. And then as the morning progresses, it starts getting emptier and emptier. And then again, on the flip side, you have the afternoon gym goers who work a 9-to-5 coming at around 6 p.m. And then the least busy times is what I like to call the unemployment block. So around 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. it's your least busy time. So if you're wanting to go throughout the week, 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. but avoid the Mondays. And then on weekends, Saturday is also relatively busy. My guess is that everybody wants to get their session in before they go out for the night or for the evening or for the afternoon. Saturday is also quite busy, but Sundays as a whole is kind of chill. Just as it starts getting to 1 p.m, 3 p.m, that's when it's super empty. So if you're wanting to avoid the crowd at all costs, or if you're someone that's extremely anxious and you don't really want to interact with people, or you feel like all the eyes are on you, 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. on Sundays should be perfect. Also that same time during the week should work as well. And then another tip I have for beginners, if you're someone who really struggles with feeling like you're in the spotlight and that all eyes are on you, it kind of paralyzes you to do anything in the weight section just because it seems maybe really intimidating. What I would recommend for you is to start off with one exercise, right? You're going to start off with one exercise and then hone in on that one exercise and perfect it. Because what this is going to do is it's going to familiarize yourself with the environment. Because remember, when you're stepping into the gym for the first time, it can feel very intimidating because it's not a familiar environment. You don't know where this machine is, you don't know where that machine is. So that in combination of you feeling like you're inexperienced, it can have a negative impact on your mindset and maybe how confident you feel in the moment. So what I would say is pick one exercise that you're going to perfect, and you can just do that every single time you go to the gym for maybe about 2 weeks. If you want to add in another one there, go ahead and do that. But I would say perfecting one exercise and just trying to familiarize yourself with where everything is, getting to know people, the regular gym goers. I feel like that would help a lot for someone who's super anxious. And then once you are kind of comfortable with that, you can progress. So what I've heard a lot of people really like to do is take a set of dumbbells, find a quiet corner or quiet space in the gym, and just do a full-on workout with that one set of dumbbells. And then slowly you can progress up from that. But really what the aim of this is, I feel like, is to just familiarize yourself with the environment that you're in, because everything seems like new territory, so it can feel intimidating. But I feel like this is the best way to just make it feel more homey to you. And then another one, clothing. So when it comes to the gym community, I get that it can feel very pressurizing to dress a certain way for guys and for girls. Obviously, I'm a woman, so I'm speaking from a woman's perspective, but in the gym space, everybody's wearing booty shorts, everybody's wearing crop tops, everybody's wearing sports bras, and so maybe you feel the need to dress that way as well because you feel like you're gonna stick out like a sore thumb if you don't. Let me just tell you that you're going to feel the most comfortable if you dress the most comfortable. If you're dressing in a way that makes you feel out of place, you're going to look like you're out of place. And what this is going to do is just alleviate that pressure from you and take that off of your shoulders, because now you're not worrying about, oh, I feel so uncomfortable, are people looking at me this way? And then also, if you're someone that wants to wear that, go ahead, you can do that. But if you have a certain level of anxiety that comes when you're in crowds or just in a place where there's a lot of people, I would suggest that you bring something that you can just cover up with, because if you feel that you're at home and you look really good and that you look good from all angles and you feel really confident, but then you get to the gym and you feel a bit uncomfortable. So I would just bring a cover up just in case, just so you can continue your workout and complete it without feeling like you have all eyes on you and just feeling very uncomfortable because of what you're wearing. So I would recommend a cover up and just dress comfortably. So tip 2, what to bring. I would say this is really dependent on your goals and what you're trying to achieve from the gym. But generally, when we're talking about beginners and someone's first time in the gym, I would say a water bottle and a towel is more than enough. Obviously the towel to wipe off your sweat, but also to wipe off the sweat of any machines that you use. So I am going to touch on gym etiquette later, but something that is well known within the gym community, even though it's not spoken, nobody tells you this rules verbally, but wiping your equipment after you use them and leaving it the way you would want someone else to leave that piece of equipment for you. And obviously the water bottle to hydrate throughout your workout, because you can get really thirsty. And then once you start getting more familiar with the gym and the different sort of exercises and programs, you'll start incorporating more equipment into your routine, or just use things that you feel like would be necessary within the gym. So for example, I initially started off with my water bottle and my towel, right? That was the only 2 things that I brought with. I felt like it's the only things that I needed. Then as I started progressing up in weight, I was like, hey, I need straps because my legs are super strong, but my grip can't hold them. So I got myself straps. Then after that, I was like, okay, now I'm into powerlifting. Oh, I need a belt for powerlifting, now I need a belt. And then I got into my booty builder phase and I was like, okay, I really need an ankle strap because my gym doesn't have ankle strap, so I brought an ankle strap. And so you can see how slowly but surely my bag started filling up with more and more things, but this was a progression as I saw fit along the way. So I wouldn't say it's necessary to splurge all at once. So I would say initially, don't really worry about, oh my gosh, I need this, I need that. Water bottle, towel, those are the essentials. After that, you can worry about slowly incorporating other things, but right now that's all you need. Number 3, preparing your workout. So I know I said when it comes to anxiety, just doing one exercise or maybe just doing the silent workout with the set of dumbbells would be enough. But if you're someone who doesn't really need to work through anxiety and you want to start your fitness journey, number 1, prepare a workout. I used to be the type of beginner who would just show up to the gym and kind of just try whatever machine. But I want to say that when it comes to consistency and when it comes to improving your overall physique in terms of strength, in terms of aesthetics, you need to be following a program. So where do you get this program? Do you make it yourself? Do you follow someone else's program? So as a beginner, I would say rather follow someone else's program. There are plenty of free programs out there. So when I started out, I used to be obsessed with Jeff Nippard and Stephanie Buttermore. I used to follow Jeff Nippard's, I can't remember what program it was, but I'll put it up here. And then I also followed Stephanie Buttermore's program. And I got them all from LiveGym. If you don't know what LiveGym is, here it is. It's the most amazing site ever. And I got it for free. There's also this app called Bootcamp. So I didn't use this when I first started out just because I didn't know about it, but if I knew about it, I probably would have used it just because it's very convenient to track your workouts and to see what's next instead of following something on a PDF. Before I move on to the next point, I just want to mention that some terms that you may come across when interacting with these programs and with these PDFs. So something that you'll probably hear throughout your research and trying to find different programs is the word split. So split basically refers to how you're structuring your training throughout the week. So for example, you have what is called a bro split, you have what is called push-pull legs, you have all of these different splits that basically describe how you are structuring your workouts when it comes to muscle groups, when it comes to frequency. So a split describes what you're training on each day. Monday legs, Tuesday arms, Wednesday shoulders, just an example, but that's what a split is. So reps is the amount of times that you're doing a specific exercise. So if I'm doing 3 squats at a time, that means 3 reps of squats. And then sets refer to the number of cycles you do of a specific exercise. So for example, you can do 3 reps of squats, rest, another 3 reps of squats, rest, and then another 3 reps of squats. That'll equal 3 sets of squats that you just did. You just did a total of 3 sets of squats. Hypertrophy refers to the increase of muscle size. Ammaarah stands for as many reps as possible. So if you see that, that's what it means. And I think we'll leave it at there for now. There are many more terms than that, but just as a beginner, I feel like these are the most important to know just to navigate your workout routine. And then areas in the gym. So I feel like I should have added this in there with the overcoming anxiety section, because knowing your surroundings and knowing your environment can alleviate a lot of stress and a lot of pressure off of you. So all conventional gyms usually have the same setup. You have an elliptical area with all of the cardio equipment, you have the studios for the classes, and then you have like an open turf area. I know in America they usually have the turf area. Here in South Africa in the Virgin Active is just an open area where the classes happen, or just where people come to stretch. And then you will also quite commonly have a room that's dedicated for spin classes. So what can you do with these different rooms? Usually the studios are open for you to use. Obviously, if there's a class happening there, then you can't just come in and do your stretches. But if there's nobody in there, you're more than welcome to just do your warm-up in there. Usually people warm up in the elliptical section on maybe a treadmill or a stationary bike. A lot of the times people also just use the studio to warm up. And then obviously the weight section where we lift weights. So pre-workout, I was actually going to go on a bit of a rant about how bad it is for you and how bad energy drinks are for you. And then I started feeling very tired today, so I got a Monster. I would say though, you know, ever since the beginning of my fitness journey, I have consumed a lot of pre-workout and a lot of energy drinks. And in the long term, I feel like it's not really beneficial, just because you kind of want to use it on the days that you feel like you really need it. For me, that's what I'm trying to do right now. Like just on the days where I feel like I really need to pick me up right now because I don't know if I'm going to be able to get through my entire workout, then you can take the pre-workout. But I would say that if you're feeling like your energy levels are sufficient to get through the entire workout, I wouldn't say just add it in just because. Add it in when you feel like you need it, but generally I would say rather try and rely on healthier sources of quick carbs or sugars instead of trying to rely on an absurd amount of caffeine. And then training frequency. I'm not sure what number we are on, but I'm going to leave it up there. So when it comes to training frequency, this is largely dependent on the type of training that you do. So do you want to get as strong as possible? Do you want to get as big as possible? The World Health Organization recommends 2 weight training days per week for the major muscle groups, and then 150 minutes of zone 2 cardio. So if you don't know what zone 2 cardio is, it's basically cardio where you can't really have a comfortable conversation. At least that's how I remember it from Dr. Andrew Huberman's podcast. And I feel like 2 days a week is pretty doable, especially for a beginner, because remember, in these initial stages, you're really wanting to grow that consistency muscle. You don't want to dive in too deep too fast. So I would say 2 days per week starting off, and then as you become more experienced in the gym, depending on how much you like it, you can increase from there. But I would say at the minimum 2 weeks. Okay, so you've done all of this prep, you've sorted out your workout plan, decided what day of the week you're going to train, what time you're going to train, you have packed your bag, you decided whether or not you're taking pre-workout, and you're ready to go. What happens now when you're in the gym? What I would recommend if you're following a program is to ask yourself if you know how to do each and every single exercise that you're doing for that program. So just researching videos. There are plenty of videos on all the different exercises you could think of online. So researching, for example, squat form. Tons of videos will show up on how to do a squat. If you're still unsure, or even before you start researching on YouTube while you're at the gym, there are plenty of gym staff walking around ready to help you, and usually they're very friendly. I remember when I was first starting out, I really didn't know how to do skull crushes, but it was on my program, and so the gym was pretty empty at this time, and it was just me and this other guy who looked pretty intimidating. but I asked him if he could show me how to do skull crushes, and he was so nice. He taught me like variations that I could do, he corrected my form, and he was just very friendly and so willing to help me. And usually that's how it is in the gym community. You do get the roid rages, I'll be honest, you do get some nasty Karens out there, but I mean generally the gym community is very open to helping new lifters. Warming up. Okay, so there's a couple of reasons why you need to warm up. So number one, injury prevention. So warming up just makes your muscles warmer and more flexible and less prone to injury, and also it primes your cardiovascular system for exercise. So what does warming up look like? It looks like 5 to 10 minutes on a treadmill, for example, or on a stationary bike, just something to get you moving. So I wasn't sure whether or not I should add the next point, but I feel like it's worth mentioning even if it's briefly. The term progressive overload. So progressive overload means gradually increasing the intensity of your workouts over time to keep challenging your muscles. But I feel like you shouldn't worry about that now. For beginners, it's important to just build consistency and making sure that you show up. That is the most important thing right now. You can worry about progressive overload later. Okay, next, diet and sleep. So a lot of people are under the impression that all it takes is working really hard in the gym and that's where it ends. Unfortunately, that's not how it works. Diet and sleep is as important as actually getting yourself to the gym and doing your workouts. So success in the gym doesn't only comprise of showing up, doing your workout, but it also depends on what you do outside of the gym. Sleep is when your body repairs itself from the damage that you caused from tearing the muscle during your workout, and so it's extremely important to sleep enough to allow your body that adequate rest time and recovery period. And then diet. Obviously, most of us know that we need to be eating sufficient amount of protein in order to build muscle and promote protein synthesis, but a lot of people just down whey protein and assume that that's all it takes. Unfortunately, that's not all it takes. You need to be eating enough nutritionally dense food to actually facilitate proper protein synthesis, because our bodies need micronutrients in order to perform at its best and promote muscle development and growth and overall health. Another tip is to take progress pictures and progress videos. One thing that I'm really sad that I didn't do enough of at the beginning of my fitness journey is take more pictures and take more videos, because I feel like at the point that I am now, I've made a lot of progress, and so I don't really have anything to compare it with. There are a couple of videos that I have taken in the past, and so it makes me feel more motivated to continue going at this, because I'm like, I came so far. And so it really helps when it comes to just an extra boost of motivation to try and continue with this journey. Targeted fat loss. So I just wanted to touch on some misconceptions that I see floating around a lot, and that I've been asked myself whether or not people can, for example, target fat loss or get toned and not bulky. So these are just things that I just want to clarify for you. So when it comes to targeting fat loss, you can't really target a specific area to lose weight. Where you lose weight is largely dependent on your genetics. For example, I might lose weight faster in my stomach than I do my arms, and you might have it the other way around. And so when you're trying to target a specific area by doing exercises that work that area, what you're doing is you're just exercising that muscle, but you're not melting the fat away from that specific area. How do we lose fat? So whether or not you lose weight is dependent on how much you're eating versus how much energy you're expending. So if you're in a calorie deficit where you're expending more energy than you're consuming, you will lose fat and you will lose weight. So getting toned versus getting bulky. So usually when women speak about getting toned, they're referring to a state, I guess you can call it, where you can still see a little bit of muscle, but not where they look overly jacked. So I just want to say that you still need to be building muscle in order to achieve that toned look. You still need to be lifting weights, you still need to be applying intensity, you're still needing to be going at it hard in the gym and lifting heavy weights, and then dropping down to a body fat where you're able to see that definition. I'm sure this comes from the fear of looking too masculine or looking too bulky, but unfortunately or fortunately, you're not going to be gaining an absurd amount of muscle just by lifting a couple of weights. It takes a lot of time to get to that point where you're actually seeing definition and you're seeing progress. So don't think that you're going to do a couple of workouts and then suddenly look like sebum. It takes years and years to achieve bulky status, and even then, as women, we're limited because of the amount of testosterone we produce. So the women that you do see online that look super jacked, usually they're on steroids. I mean, for me myself, I was really surprised to find out how many people in the industry are on gear. So when you see a woman that looks super jacked or just looks like she could kill you, it's most probably because she's on steroids, so it's very, very hard to look bulky, so you're safe. Lastly, gym etiquette. So I just wanted to go through this Reddit post that I found online, just of common gym etiquette rules, I guess you could say, that a lot of people only get to know as they become more experienced at the gym, but I feel like if you as a beginner know this, it will put you one step above the rest. So number 1, don't start stripping a barbell of racked weights the second you get there. Ask people around if it's in use. Some people grab a quick drink or go to the bathroom. Don't ask someone how many sets they have left if they're in the middle of a set. So you're more than welcome to ask anybody in the gym how many sets they have left if you want to use a machine, just not while they're doing an exercise. Circuit training or doing supersets in a really busy gym is just a little bit inconsiderate to the people around you who want to use the machines. So if you're moving between 2 machines and you're trying to place hold it by leaving your water bottle there, it is a big gym no-no, because we need to be more considerate of other people's time. Also, like, if the gym is really busy and someone asks you how many sets you have left, offer for them to work in. Conclusion, set goals, stay consistent, and be patient. Rome wasn't built in a day, and neither is your body or your health. Just keep pushing yourself and you'll eventually get there. You know, we're all beginners at something at some point or another in our lives. And even with gym, even the strongest guy that you see in there, or the strongest girl, or the person with the best physique that you see in the gym, they had a day one. So just be kind to yourself and remember that this is a journey, and it's a very fun journey, because not only are you improving yourself, but the gym community is a very amazing community to be a part of. So just keep showing up every single day and you will achieve the results that you want. I mean, even myself, I'm a beginner right now at this YouTube thing. I just posted my first video that you can watch after this just a couple of days ago, and I'm a beginner at this, and I'm working every single day to try and better myself, trying to find the right equipment, trying to see how I can make my scripts better, how I can speak better, how I can make the audio quality better, how I can edit better. So just constantly improving and making a commitment to yourself and a promise to yourself, and you're respecting yourself enough to follow through with what you said you were going to do. If you told yourself that you were going to do something, respect yourself enough to do that thing that you said you were going to do. I respect myself enough to follow through with the commitments that I made to myself. I told myself that I wanted to get better at YouTube, and now I'm working at it. I really didn't want to film this video today because, I mean, it's super dark right now. It's a gloomy day today. The lighting isn't good. I have a makeshift everything here, but I'm showing up for myself because I told myself this was something that I want to achieve. This was something that I wanted to work on. This was something that I want to get better at. So I'm here, I'm showing up, and I expect you to do the same. So with that, please like and subscribe, and I can't wait to see you on my next video.